It's the Tony Tone Show on Vintage Sound 93.1 FM. My next guest on the MPW Digital TV Celebrity Hotline is busy, to put it lightly. He's got the brand new show A.P.B. with episodes tonight, 9 o'clock Central on Fox, Grace and Frankie on Netflix, and Graves on Epix. I don't know how he does it all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ernie Hudson. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hey, Tony, how you doing?
Ernie Hudson, welcome back to the state of Iowa, buddy. It's so great to have you on the phone. I appreciate it, man.
Well, thanks, man. Great talking to you.
So you are so busy with both A.P.B. and Grace and Frankie. I want to start with A.P.B., Ernie. I was getting caught up this weekend, as a matter of fact, and this show kind of hits home for me in a couple of ways. I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, and my dad has been a Chicago cop who's about to retire after like 35 years this coming August.
Wow.
So
yeah.
It's and it's kind of like a heavy show, this A.P.B. I like it a lot, but I wonder for you, certainly not a stranger to playing different roles, but when you prepared for this one, did you meet with any police officers, or do they have like consultants on the set, or what?
Yeah, well, we had consultants on the set, and in fact, there are two former police captains who are, I think, background there. So they're there, and I got a chance to talk to them a lot. Mm-hmm. I've done a lot of policeman roles over the years, and I was a volunteer sheriff for the San Bernardino Sheriff Department for about 20 years. So I've been around law enforcement and, have a sense of, you do the ride-alongs and you do the things that kind of help you sort of get into the mindset of the character. And this guy is kind of, it's interesting you were saying about your dad, because he's a career guy and things have gone along a certain way. And when this billionaire comes in with all of his high-tech toys, a lot of the people are resistant and leave, but he also recognizes the need for change. And he still lives in the neighborhood that he grew up in. So, and it's a neighborhood that's probably least served. So for him, as much as, protocol and, he's a career guy, but he also knows that, we got to try things a little bit differently. And I think it kind of taps into a lot of what's going on now, because I think a lot of people saying, you know what, things are good, or things are certainly whatever, but we can't keep down this path. We need to adjust a bit, and we have the capabilities. All the things we use on the show is technology that exists.
And I wouldn't be surprised. In Chicago, for sure, could use some help, right? I mean,
absolutely, yeah.
And it seems,
we still deal from a paradigm of policing like it's 1970,
right?
And things. I mean, technology has moved way ahead, and the bad guys, if they have enough money, all this is available, but our police are kind of handicapped because, with budget cuts and the old way is just get tougher. But I don't think getting tougher is necessarily, the best approach. I think we need to get smarter, and we need to use what's available.
You're absolutely right.
The show kind of addresses that. And the show deals with that enough.
And how great Justin Kirk is, just great. Right? Like, oh man.
Yeah, I got to say, I've been doing this a long time. I admire and like some of the young actors coming up, and I work with some of the older guys. I've been very blessed to sort of work with a lot of people, and I'm not impressed very often. But I got to tell you, Justin Kirk he's an amazing actor, and when you're number one on the call sheet, which means you are the star of the show. It's a lot of responsibility, and I've seen a lot of people handle it very badly. And they're doing, unprofessional things, and everybody else kind of falls in line. But Justin is so on point, and he's so there, and I really appreciate it when people respect everyone, the security guards and the extras, and not just the producers. But he's just a really balanced guy, and and he's wonderful. I mean, he's a wonderful actor. So, those are situations I learn from, and but I just admire how he carries himself. I think it's important, and especially to a lot of the young people, coming in to see that kind of professional discipline is really encouraging.
Absolutely. A.P.B. new episodes 8 o'clock Central tonight on Fox. On the other end of the spectrum is Grace and Frankie, which is so much fun. And I guess in a sentence or two, if you could describe Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda, the folks that probably haven't met them, but working with them on that show, describe that, Ernie, because I'm very curious about that, because it's so much fun to watch as a viewer.
It's great to watch, and it's interesting because it was kind of the same thing watching Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, two totally different comedians or guys who come from very, very different places, but it's wonderful to see them work. And the same with Jane Fonda and Lily. Lily is so natural and so down to earth, and Jane is so on point and she's just nails it every time. But really sort of in control. And not that Lily's not in control. I don't think she particularly cares to be. So it's nice to fall in the middle of that and I go to work to watch. I mean, we got Sam Waterston and Martin Sheen. And these are people I was watching when I was, starting out. It always bothers me when old people come up to me and say they've been watching me since they were a kid. But I've been around a long time, but they've been around even longer. And or certainly they've been in position a lot longer than I have. And I just love just watching them work, and it's a joy. And a lot of the shows I've done, these are young people. They don't quite have the same work ethics. Mm-hmm. But when I work on, I go there, everybody's on point, showing up, having fun, and that's the way I like to work.
And it's so interesting to have the series on Fox and then the Grace and Frankie. I mean, they're not to say that it's two different audiences, but it's got to be nice because you are touching, that heavy drama, police drama, technology, and then sort of that, I don't want to say nostalgic audience, but I mean, that definitely exists, and it's good that there's programming that's serving both, right?
Yeah, I think that's the wonderful thing. There's so much programming now on Epix network, which I don't know a lot of people who get it, but I do a show called Graves with Nick Nolte and Celia Ward. Mm-hmm. But on A.P.B, I'm this captain who has the weight of a lot of things. But on Grace and Frankie, I'm a farmer.
Right.
So, and I love just being a guy who's a farmer. And on Graves, I'm this political fixer, and it's a whole other kind of. And that's the joy of being an actor, is I get a chance to kind of explore different worlds.
Last two questions are quick ones. You were wonderful in the reboot of Ghostbusters. I enjoyed it. I thought the ladies did a great job. Any reflection on that? And then the second part is, Ernie, how many Twinkies have you autographed in your life?
Well, I've autographed a lot of Twinkies. In fact, I used to take them to conventions and give them away to people, especially kids. Because the big Twinkie, I hear that almost certainly once a week from somebody.
Sure.
But so it's great. I can't remember what the first question was.
The reboot of Ghostbusters was in.
The reboot of Ghostbusters. I thought the girls were wonderful. And I got no criticism. The only thing I will say is I wish they had done an extension 30 years into the future, which is where it is, as opposed to a reboot. I didn't get the reboot. I don't know why they went that way, but
it almost
didn't. That's my opinion.
Right, and maybe they should have, because it almost would have made more sense if it were not just totally right. I mean, like, you acknowledge that it exists, and then you're going to do your own thing. I don't know.
You're going to do your own thing. 30 years later, now we got a problem with ghosts, and so the girls come in, and we could have made cameos as ourselves, as opposed to Bill Murray being some critic or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
And you say you don't want comparisons, but you do a reboot. How can you not compare?
Right. No, 100%. Well, I'm glad that you guys were in there, and the girls did do a good job. Ernie, you're busy this morning. I appreciate it. A.P.B is on Fox tonight. Grace and Frankie on Netflix, and Graves on Epix. Take a vacation, will you? My goodness. Holy
I'm afraid to. I got to keep moving while I
can. Well, listen, sir, thank you for the time. You're always welcome in the great state of Iowa and on this radio show. I appreciate it, Ernie Hudson.
Great. Thank you. Good talking to you.
Take care. Bye.